My name is Ziba, and I am here representing Spark. We have a few students that I'm going to call up later when they arrive. So we didn't rehearse this, so the student component is going to be live implementation. So we describe ourselves as an innovation and experiential learning lab. We really are about helping students take what they learn in the classroom, the theory, and translate it into practice. The other piece that we're very focused on, I think, building on what Keenan and others have said, which is we want them to understand the civic, the societal, and the ethical implications of the work they're going to be doing and to practice that, throughout the entire experience. So we have three key buckets of work, and I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later also with students, but give you the highlights now and then go deeper. So the first bucket is the innovation bucket, and this is where students come with their own idea, and we support them through a variety of mechanisms to take their idea into implementation. We help them find teammates, we get them mentors from industry, we give them a structured experience so that they know where to start, and we have a big showcase at the end of every semester. That's the innovation program. And we do that in partnership with some other units on campus, especially the design aspects. So students from our major are coming in with the computing and data science skills, but then they're working alongside students in the design function because that is really what you're seeing in industry. They're working kind of design and development on the same side. We also have another track for students who don't want a structured experience. Some folks are just self-starters and they're hunkering away at hackathons and other places, and they want support and a showcase to show their work. So we have Code and Tell every month, which is that opportunity. That supports about 150 students a year come through that program. The second bucket, this is the really big one, and these are the practicum classes, and this is where we're really getting integrated into the curriculum, is the X Lab or the Experience Lab. And this is where students come to us to get to work on projects with external partners. So we have a number of different courses. We also have some internships, and when we have funding, we have grants, and then we have opportunities for students to do this work outside of class. And then we have a whole leadership track. So a lot of students come through our program and they do excellent work, sort of like the tutoring center. And then we recruit them in to be paid student employees serving as PMs and TPMs, which are industry titles, in managing, helping us manage the other student teams that are working on these programs. They're sort of responsible for the client engagement and the whole flow. So there's opportunities for leadership in the X Lab as well. And then the third big chunk is going back to Azur's slide around experiential learning, the co-curricular chunk. And this is where it's not through courses necessarily, but we have a beautiful space on the second floor, which I hope you will visit. And we have ambassadors that run a number of programs, speaking events, hackathons. And we've introduced something new this year because we've been receiving interest from organizations and partners on campus that just want to put out a challenge. And we're calling these bounties. So students can work in these projects, and if they get the project done first, they can claim the bounty. And it tends to be a financial bounty. We're just rolling this out. We're really excited about it. So the opportunities change over your student journey. So you can see in green are the co-curricular, as Ezra said, opportunities for experiential learning. The chartreuse are courses. So courses start happening more in your second year. There's some 2-credit classes that you can take, and then the bulk of our practicum courses come in the third year, as well as the leadership opportunities, which are in orange, and those are the paid employment roles within our program. And then we have some summer internship roles, depending on external funding. Those go up and down over the years. Okay, so here is a checklist, which I think you're going to get the slides afterwards, but I'll sort of narrate this. So when you come, we have also this program called STEM Splash. You've heard about some of the data science clubs. There are 29 computing clubs, which I'll go into a little bit later, and we want you to jump in and get connected to those clubs. We also are really trying to build community. So every Wednesday at Spark, we have Cookie O'Clock, where you can engage in a a small AI task and connect with other people, and that's where a lot of our students actually get their apps and their different innovation projects tested. We have a showcase, as I said, every month, Code and Tell, where students can show the work they've done and get feedback from mentors. We also have two big hackathons that happen every year, one in the spring and one in the fall. The one in the fall has a first year track because we think it's really important for students to experience hackathons. It's a great opportunity to build skills, to explore, to test the latest technology applications that are coming out, to connect with industry. And we feel like if you get into that track early as a first year, you're going to tend to do more and more as you go on, and it really builds your portfolio of projects for a career. I'm going to keep going because I'm going to go into more detail later. So this is our space in the second floor. I encourage you to stop by. We're right at the top of the big stairs, and these are some examples of things that are going on in the space. So all of our activities, our community activities, are concentrated on Wednesdays, and it's Wednesdays at Spark. It's sort of a day of the week where people can take a pause. That's where we have cookie o'clock. That's where we have tech innovation hours, which are drop-in hours where my entire team is there, and we have a variety of technical expertise in our team, and we're there to help students with their personal projects, and maybe some of the projects they're working on for other folks as well. And then every Wednesday night at 6:30, we have Tech Talks, which are really a time where we bring folks from industry. We also partner with CDS Careers, and that's where students can engage in workshops to build new skills and get some of that that training that is necessary in a world that is moving so fast and new applications are dropping every week. Okay, so this is the innovation track, which I've talked a little bit about. We know that not every student comes with ideas. So we've also introduced programs where we can help students develop a backlog of ideas that they can take to hackathons, they can take into our innovation program, and then continue through their innovation journey. The hackathons, as I said, in the fall, we have DS plus X, which is really designed to mirror the CDS experience, where you may have an interest in data science, but maybe you also have an interest in biological systems or in privacy or in earth and environment. And so we're trying to encourage that through this hackathon. And then in the spring, we have Civic Hacks, and we've been running this for 5 years, and students from all across the country come. We have partnerships with the City of Boston and other organizations who sponsor challenges for that one. Here are all of our student clubs. So one of the things that I think is interesting about the computing and data science world at BU is that it is very interdisciplinary. So we have a lot of majors that are that touch each other. So whether it's computer science or math and statistics or the data science major or engineering, computing and data science flows through all of these majors as well as others. So we have, in addition to the data science clubs, we support 29 computing clubs, and they change over years. So it's everything from Forge Design Studios, which are students who are interested in the user experience design aspect of computing and data science. We have BU Game Development. There's cybersecurity clubs. There are affinity clubs like the National Society of Black Engineers or Girls Who Code. And there's really kind of everything, something for everybody. But there's also an opportunity if there's something that a new student comes in and they want to start something because they're interested in, they don't see an opportunity there, they can come and get funding from us for an initiative or a new club. And this was an example a couple months ago. The sports analytics club started up, and now they're having their first hackathon in a couple weeks. We also have these 2-credit practicum workshops, and these are opportunities. Usually you have 4 classes, 4 credits each, and then you have these 2 credits, additional credits, up to 18 credits that you can take each semester. And we're trying to play with those 2 credits to give students an opportunity to explore very specific skills that are more connected to experiential learning that they may not be getting exposed to in other areas. So, and these are very focused on kind of industry roles. So what do you need to be job ready is the SE career prep, what for kind of engineering and computing roles. What is product management? What is user experience design? We're finding a lot of students want to go into these technical roles, but they may not want to roll their sleeves up and do the coding every day. They might want to be in kind of more of a management role. Okay. So this is really back to the X Lab, the Experience Lab, our big bucket. This is where we have about 600 students coming through every year in these courses, and we do about 100 projects a year for external partners. The students enroll in a specific practicum track. So there's some that are part of the capstone and there's some that are just electives. So user experience design practicum, software engineering, data science, machine learning, and then we have data visualization. We also have a few that are partnered with other departments, and I think this is something that we're seeing a lot of interest in, which is another department, the journalism department, has journalism students that are wanting to work alongside computer science, data science practitioners to work on data-driven investigations for media partners. So there's a lot of data science in all these different disciplines, and we have a course that's an example of a course that is doing that for external partners. Okay, here's an example. All right, here we go, come on. So I'm gonna call up some of the students. You guys can all come up. And I think what we're gonna do is start with, actually, I'm gonna come back to this because I don't wanna steal your thunder. So I think we're gonna start with, the first year's experience, the things that are more available. You guys can, well, you can stand up. We'll stand up. The co-curricular realm. So I'm gonna ask Dora to talk a little bit about the student clubs. She's involved with several student clubs, and she also is sort of our leader for Wednesdays at Spark. And you can talk about that and Code Intel and what you're seeing.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dora. I am a sophomore. I'm actually not in CDS. I'm actually BME, so in the College of Engineering, with a CS minor, but I really found a place at Spark, which I've been around for more than a year now. So as Eva mentioned, I'm involved in multiple of the Ignite clubs that you saw a couple slides ago. As Eva mentioned, Forge, that's the UI UX club. And I'm also involved in Hack for Impacts, which is more technical, as well as Boston Hacks. So we put on a student-run hackathon every fall, which is super fun. Great experience to learn both the technical aspect of it, as well as kind of like how to organize this large-scale events. Also SACE, as well as Grows Through Code, those are kind of more pre-professional. But honestly, like it's great being part of these clubs. You make friends really fast. You tend to realize that you're around the same people just because you share the same interests, so it's super cool. And then to Wednesday at Spark, so every Wednesday, Spark has programming from 3 p.m. all the way until 7 or 8 p.m. So we start with cookie o'clock from 3 to 4. So it's exactly what it sounds like. You grab a cookie and you socialize. It's very chill, and you get good food, so why not, you know? And then from 4 to 6, we have tech innovation hours. We have a bounty board that I'm not sure if that was talked about. But essentially, there are a series of challenges where you can earn cash prizes for small projects. So if that's something that interests you, that would be a great way to kind of get started and get something on your resume, as well as make some money while doing it. So why not as well? And then from 6:30 to 7:30 or until 8, we have tech talks every Wednesday. So these are talks where we invite professionals to come and chat about their work, the latest industry trends. We also have Code Intel. So every month we have a demo night where we invite students to share what projects they've been working on. So I know like Sean and Nora, they've come once, twice, coming a second time. But it's a great time. We have food, we have prizes, we have t-shirts. So yeah, just a really fun time.
All right, next we're going to you guys are hackathon and innovation. So there's a journey, there's a connection, and they also did Code Intel, so you've got the whole thing. But it all started with a hackathon, right?
Yeah. So we meet to you. It did start with the hackathon. We did actually the Spark track, which is called Hackerspace at Boston Hacks last fall. But for Me To You, we are a part of XC475 Spark Innovation Program. So Me To You is a product, essentially a digital installation to bring more interactive and playful and community belonging to more academic spaces like Spark, where it's mostly focused on innovation or other academic initiatives. So our pretty much product works by using computer vision to detect. You can come up to our installation, throw up a peace sign or one of our poses, and then someone within your community or the Spark space will throw one right back at you. And you'd be able to meet new people and, and see more of our space on a kind of interactive and playful community level. It did start with a hackathon, and we did first go we were inspired by a lot of like fun online computer vision Instagram reels actually, and we're like, this is fun. Why not take it a further level to actually bring cohesion, bring community, and bring belonging within academic spaces?
Yeah, so our main feature is like the gesture matching you can see on the right, but we've also been adding like other fun features. Like we have like a Me Hub thing. So if you're familiar with the Nintendo Wii, we kind of created the same thing where you can create a little miniature version of yourself and it slaps your face on. We're also working on like computer vision games. So we created like Flappy Bird, except instead of clicking a button, you actually flap your hands like a bird. Yeah, so that's been pretty cool. Like we said, we started during the hackathon, and then over the past couple months, we've been involved in the XC Innovation Program. So we've been doing lots of coding, lots of designing, and like user research, and we've been like iterating on our design. And yeah, it's been a lot of work, but it's been really rewarding to see our kind of silly idea be turned into something real.
Okay. And then last, I have Cap. And Cap, I'm going to actually talk a little bit about, give you some examples of projects that we've had in the in the practicum courses. This is an example in the ML practicum of we're working with an architect who is interested in digital reconstructions and historically informed architecture and planning. So he's asked us to help with students to create digital reconstructions to train models based on images of buildings that were destroyed in war or in natural disasters. And the goal is to provide, future input into a design and planning. So that's one example. Another one here is the Stranger Danger project, and this is actually for a researcher in psychology here at BU. And this is something that we're finding we get projects from other disciplines where they may not have the skills that our students have, but they need it for their research. And this person is studying whether how children react to strangers. And they used to had to manually code every single response that the children would have in an interaction with an adult, and then to evaluate, stranger danger as they call it. But we've been building a model in order to automate that process. So those are two examples, and I think and here's another one. This is more on the software engineering side. This Kelly Dempsey, I guess she was on Project Runway. Somehow she found us, and she's building an app that is for bartering. And this is just a third example. But I'm going to let Cap, who is in a leadership role, but also worked on Spark projects in the X Lab.
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is Kaplan Ramsamy, but most people call me Cap. So I'm currently a master's student here, majoring in data science, and I also work as a TPM. So basically what a TPM does is that you oversee multiple data science projects, and you work with students coincidingly with people who take these practicum classes. And basically, the reason why you would want to be involved in Spark in terms of like classes like this is that it's very like industry related. So if you are someone who you know that you want to be in industry and you want to learn these skills, I feel like Spark is a great place to start. And if I were to, I can say many great things about Spark, but the one thing I feel like you guys need to take away is that just get involved early. And I feel like Spark is a great place to do so. And I can speak now looking back on it because like I've learned so much, and I feel like I've like over time I've realized that all these skills I'm learning are very pragmatic. And I think I'm uniquely qualified to say this because after I graduate, I'll be working at State Street, which is that building way over there across the river. And because I'm able to do so because of all the skills I picked up through Spark and mainly working as a TPN. So I feel like if you guys are very interested in industry and in that environment, Spark is like a great place to start because not only are you gaining experience, you're gaining confidence, and more importantly, you're gaining people that you like learn to like work with, and more importantly, you will like meet people that have the same goals as you, and I think that's like very important.
Great, thanks. All right, I think that is our presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you, students. And if you want to talk with any of us about Spark, Lydia and myself are here, and I'm sure there's the students would be willing to answer questions as well. Thanks so much.